Hi everyone, happy November. I hope you are doing well. I thought that I would make this intro video while I'm shuffling for the next reading. I want to explain something. First and foremost, I want to thank you from beyond my life, honestly, beyond my soul. I am beyond grateful for all of the amazing emails, all of the well wishes, all of the positive energies. What you don't even realize that you did was, and I can't be more grateful. I don't do well with modern medicine. I don't, and it's terrifying because I'm always the one that, they'll say, oh, well, in general. I'm always that one that I'm always the in general that doesn't fit into that. So anything that works for someone else most likely will not work for me. So it's always terrifying, especially with having to deal with this, because I'm like the one that nothing works for. But the one thing that had worked for me, like I said, for 30 years, and people were always amazed, including doctors, that I really didn't come out of remission a lot. And when it did, I could snap it back in. It was never like this. And I knew going into this, when it wasn't getting better, it was getting worse, that something, might really happen here. It was a little terrifying. So I'm glad to say, though, that the minute that I decided to put that out there, I really did feel things switch. So you have no idea how much you absolutely helped me, and I could not be more grateful. So thank you for that. And thank you also for all of the emails with recommendations. Herbal things, again, without you guys even realizing it, that's the route I go, because those things work for me. Modern medicine doesn't, but all of those suggestions that you got, and I noticed that most of you said, I hope I'm not overstepping, and I get that, because I'm always the one busting through someone's, space. So don't ever think, when you've got something to offer someone, always follow through with that, because that's how we learn things. That's how we get ideas. That's how, when someone sends me something, I'll test drive it and I'll share it with someone else. So always do that. For some of you, if you're looking and you think you're sitting on nothing, sometimes you'll see a reading come through and it's like, oh, well, I don't have any gifts. Those are gifts. Those are beyond gifts, because those change people's lives. And I'll tell you that. I can tell you that just by what I've received here. So there you go. Okay. Secondly, I want to point out how I'm doing the readings for this month. All right. As you know, if you're following my channel, you know my readings are a little bit different. They're a little bit more deep. My goal, because that is what my lifetime is about, is empowering you to go and empower your life. So I can't give you a little reading. I need to give you a what's underneath it, so that when you come up against it, it helps you. You know why something's happening. It makes the shifts a little bit easier. Okay, so what I'm doing this time is that, and this is the first time also ever that I've done readings over, because they were so not sitting with me. And then I would get a lot of messages afterward, just that it was right. It wasn't, it shouldn't go that way. And I just was getting like a fog was coming over me when I was doing the reading, and I did too. And it was just like, no, it's not right. And I stopped and I meditated on it, and no, I shouldn't have pulled the trigger on those, and I didn't. What I'm doing here is I'm going down. I'm getting underneath what these changes that you'll be experiencing are for. Okay, they're larger, they're big, they're going to be, being reborn is such a cliche, but it's like you're going to be present with this one. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to come into this life like the new baby. You're going to come into the life with what you've acquired until now, good, bad, and indifferent. And you're going to step into your life, right? And you're going to do it in a way that could be terrifying. But what I want you to know is that relationships on all fronts, that's you and someone else. I don't care if it's your animal or whoever it is, right? It's not just one-on-one relationships. So please don't cap out on that. You're the other half of any equation in your life, okay? But some relationships are going to end. Some have taught you things, but now you go on to something else. Some jobs, some careers, some talents, some things you want to do, some things you want to eat, some things you don't want to eat, the way you want to look, how you want to how you want to step into yourself, how you trust your intuition, how you trust yourself. Your life is changing for each of you in a different way. You're dissolving something and you're evolving something. That's why the readings that I'm doing is dissolve, evolve, and what are my blessings in here, right? And remember, blessings can sometimes come in a holy crap that really hurt. Those are blessings too, okay? But what we're dissolving, where we're evolving. Okay, so that's how I'm going down into this reading. So you're going to realize when you come up against these things, which are probably going to be big game changers. I feel like karma's being paid off here. I feel like health issues are being leveled out in whatever way that is. I think that relationships, how we stand up, how we show up, the things we put our hands on, what we really want to do is changing. But it's changing at a holy crap instant level. Some of the things, right? Some of the things can be a little bit of a shock and an awe, right? Things like that. I know that people are saying, and I'm not pulling on Uranus in here, I'm just pointing this out, that I've noticed that Uranus is not, people are rah-rahing it. It's a liberation planet, and it is, but it usually comes in the form of like a lightning strike to your ass is what it comes, and it comes like in a blink of an eye. So it's a little terrifying, and I know that it's in a lot of these things, but I'm pulling here for you guys, okay, and how things are going to transpire. So when these things come along, or when a relationship is really just, it's toxic, it's not able to be mended, you're just not going to see eye to eye on things, it makes this a little bit easier to face that, right? Realizing that you're dissolving things and you're evolving with things. But my intention for this type of reading is to get under what you'll be experiencing starting this month, right? So use the other tarot readers that you're dealing with or that you're watching. Use those as well, how this will apply to me, but this will be like the master plan, right? As to why those things are happening. And then in December, I'll go back to the normal. I'll hit it as a normal reading, but I want you to have this blueprint as to how things, take what works for you and don't, and leave the rest. My suggestion for this month, okay, is to look at your rising sign first, because that to me is why you chose to be in this life now. Okay, then your sun and your moon and whatever else you choose to look at. Okay, however this fits for you, but for my readings, because I'm pulling on why is this person here? What is their intent in this life, right? Why did they choose to come here? Those were what I asked to be seen. Okay, so for this month, for me, for this channel, and for us, just please use your rising sign. Okay, so there you go. I hope this was short enough. I know you guys hate it, but again, I cannot ever thank you enough for what you did, and I'm beyond grateful. So there you go. Hi Leo, happy November. I hope you are doing well. Okay, this reading is exactly why I'm doing these readings this way. There's a lot in here. There's a lot of heavy in here. There's a lot of past life in here. I think though that if you really watch this a few times, or if you really digest things, I'm going to try to do this justice. I think there's a past life in here, or there is, I'm not sure where the doctors are coming from. But there's doctors in here, and they're not anywhere dressed how we dress now. I mean, I'm all about vintage, but this isn't vintage. This is like maybe they were just trying to figure out how to dress at this time. But it goes back a very long way. Okay, so point is, there's something with healthcare about this. All right, healthcare, maybe unhealthy, maybe you were unhealthy, maybe physically unhealthy, maybe institutions, maybe there was mental, or I don't think it's mental, because I can think. I would pick up on that fog. It may be like physical ailments, or there's something in the health arena here, so pay attention to that. You may actually be at a point, maybe there's something that you do that that inadvertently makes you ill, or something to that regard. But let's go through this. I think that this though is a freeing of the karma reading if you choose to do this work here, and I think that this work is mental work. I think that how you get yourself free from this loophole, or not even a loophole, it's like looping. It's like looping, but maybe, you know, sometimes it's easier though to say, you know, to someone, and I snap out of it. Just snap out of it. Why can't you just get past this? Well, you know what? Sometimes you just can't. And that's the individual person's thing to deal with. It's easier always from the outside to look in than being in the trenches trying to get out. So you're in the trenches trying to get out, I think, but that's kind of what I feel here. I think that it stems around you're not, I think the negative qualities that you know that we all have inside of us at certain points, but it's what do you do with that will either keep you trapped so that you repeat this again, or it'll set you free, right? I think the majority of us want to be set free. Sometimes we just don't know what that is, right? This was pretty intense, I have to say. So again, the reason I'm doing this, so that when these things come up for you, or you're presented in certain situations, you can say, this is why, and let me bump this up to try to get the hell out of Dodge here, right? Let me try to fix this, resolve this, hit this from a different perspective, right? Because a lot of this, I don't feel you do on purpose. I really don't. Now, what you dissolve, where you evolve, and then what are the blessings in this? Meaning, what are these things that are going to be coming up that you need to work through? For you, I have to say, blessings are going to come in the form of things that might not be so pleasant to experience, right? But again, I think they're all mental. So if you put enough time aside to really just maybe pick the opposite of motion of what comes up, right? Something may come up from the dark, or it may come up from just an initial reaction on something. Try to pick or write down, maybe journal with the opposite emotion, right? These are kind of going to be things like that. I think you get triggered into certain ways of, again, no disrespect, this is a heavy reading. I need to give you what you need, okay? Maybe self-pity, jealousy, really stewing over something and missing the big picture. Like you're really stewing over why this has to be this way, or the why. You're getting looped up with the why, when in fact, sometimes don't care about the why. Just look at the bigger picture here, because I think you're getting tripped up at that part. And I think what you can be doing too is maybe, without even knowing it, subconsciously, you're pulling in maybe things that are causing you ill health. Right? You could be worried. When I say watch your health, I don't always mean make sure you don't trip off the curb. I mean keep your mental faculties first and foremost where they need to be, because before it will hit your body, you're circling the bend up here with it. So if you can catch it there, it usually won't hit your body. Once it hits here, it's a little bit harder to deal with, okay? So again, I'm using all trumps, so don't flip out. They get us what we need, all right? Now what you're dissolving here is the Judgment card, okay? And I think that you've got to set some stuff free. I think you've got some taboo around some stuff that you might not even realize. You know, why does my life suck? Why do I have to deal with this? Why do I have to go without this? Why is everyone else's life evolving but mine? Why can't I make any money? Why can't I ever get ahead? You know, not that it's not true, because I feel it. I just feel it in the past. But I think it's playing out here because it's extremely heavy. That I will give you. It's very, very heavy. But I think it's too, it's like where, it's about, why am I always the critic in everything? It's like, why do I always have to criticize? Or why am I the critic? Or why am I, it's kind of always, being the critic in something instead of, or the pessimist, or not seeing something for what it is, like the glass is half full or always refillable, right? That's my thing. It's not always half empty or half full. It's always refillable, and that's up to you in here. But I think that you've got a lot of karma from the past, I'm not going to lie, and I think it's playing out now. My suggestion to you would be just hit this crap dead on and be done with it. And because what I can feel here is that if you do this, I really feel that in time you get out of this, and what you feel has kept you back, and I really feel that it has kept you back because you didn't know what it was, and it's heavy. But I feel that if you clear this out and you work on this and you start to look at things in the opposite direction, that I think would be the easiest route here to get things, because our mind is a muscle. If we start to train it to think a different way, or, you know, get a different thought going, within time, that'll be the muscle. It'll go that way. So jealousy, turn it into, you know, I'm happy for this person, or not, like, you know, because I think what's hanging you up here, and you may not even realize it, is that someone gets ahead and you're happy, you've got the smile on, and you are, but inside you're like, ooh, you're kind of like jealous about it. You know, you're not real thrilled about it, but it doesn't mean you're not happy for the other person either. It just, but the inside part is what's keeping you from getting to where you need to be. I really feel that if you clear this out, not only will your career and your relationships take off, you'll get into relationships that are really healthy. You'll get into careers, jobs, relationships with money in a healthy perspective. You'll find the things that are secure to you, and that you're like, wow, I'm out from under that crap fest. But I think there was a lot of past karma that hit you physically, you know, and there's a lot of residue here still with that. Okay, now what I find here is that we're coming in, like I say, with, I think this is too in how you deal with what you're trying to dissolve is how you deal with material problems, and that is just on life. It's your life. It's hitting you, I feel, on every avenue of your life, and it's holding you back from where you really could be. I think your finances are taking a hit, your relationships are taking a hit, your health takes a hit, to the point where you kind of just step out of life. You're in it, but you step out of it because it's too chaotic to deal with, right? That's what I think. Now, where you're evolving here, you've got the Devil card. This is a positive, okay, because that's what I'm saying. That's what's holding you hostage here is this is the tough spot here. I think it's more about how it's kind of about taking a hit to help someone less fortunate, okay? Like really doing it though for the reason of doing it. And that, I think, is kind of the catch-22 here, is like you're already feeling like you're behind the 8 ball. Now you're supposed to help someone who's less fortunate. But I think what happens here is that, again, I've got that feeling here where these are the things that set you free, because you're happy, you appear, you're, for appearance sakes, you're the one who's, you know, blessing everyone and happy for everyone and trying to be compassionate and all of this, but it's what you know you really want to do, but on the inside you're like, you know, you're not real thrilled about it, because you think it should be yours. And it can be, it's just whatever really went on in the past, we need to clear it out here so that you can get back into your life here. But I think that there's just such a, you get hit at every level that it's only natural to be like, yeah, you know, someone else won the lotto, or yeah, someone else got that house, or yeah, someone else got that life, and I'm here out in the middle of the desert, you know, trying to macrame some sand seeds. You know, it's like, I get it, but the way you set yourself free here is really kind of just by doing humbling acts and really being thrilled about it, right? Whatever that is to you. And it's kind of like, again, we're trying to get rid of the false sense of surrender, right? Like just try to loosen it up a little bit. Like, it's kind of like, again, it's the equation of like, yeah, taking a vacation, but you're on your laptop the whole time. You know what I mean? It's like when I say surrender, I mean like really just let it go and not try to have to figure out why. The why is tripping you up because you're trying to disassemble it only to assemble it again. You're missing the big picture through getting stuck in that. Release the needing to know why. Just trust that the universe will clear this out for you. Okay. Now, We've got the Strength card here. We've got the Hermit card. Oops. We've got the Hermit card here. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. And you can do this. You can renew your life. You can. And on the outbound, you've got the Lover card. This is one person. This is you. Okay, what you're merging the two here. You're merging energy. This card right here it's a transmutation. You're really literally, honest to God, if you do this, you're changing the cells in your body. You'll free yourself of this. Like literally, if you've got health issues that you're carrying over into here, which I assure you do, they're clearing here. They're clearing here by releasing this and not needing to know why. Just release it to release it. That's kind of where I'm going with that. But let me see here. With the Strength card, I think what that is just, it's knowing that you've got what it takes in this world to pull yourself ahead. That's what I really think the Strength card is. But it's doing it in a way that's honoring to yourself and not having those internal struggles of release, right? It's truly believing that I'm going to do this just because it's the right thing, or just because it's the compassionate thing to do, or just because I'm going to help this person just because I know they need help. That's it, right? And I'm not going to, I'm just going to do it because I know it's the right thing to do. Again, I feel that a lot of you in here maybe are, nurses or social workers or helpers. You aid in some regard here, I think, but it's a behind the scenes kind of deal, right? I feel. Now, with the Hermit card in here, I really feel this is what you're releasing. I think that the Hermit card really is releasing like health issues, right? Because I think it's like just things from the past that you're releasing here. Really just subconscious things that you're very, very well aware of, though. You're just not sure where they're coming from. I know you're aware of them. I think that it's just past life deeds kind of things that you're having to deal with. And I think that you're just releasing it. Okay, and that's what I want to say here too. This to me is a Saturn card. It's all about past life stuff, right? And it's all about that heaviness that you've got on you, that you always feel like the eyes of the universe are just, they're waiting for you to reach for the finish line, and then it's going to squash you. That's what you just need to release that, okay? And realize that it's for a reason, right? Own your strength here. Literally, I think too, this can be physical strength, right? The Hermit from the past is trying to show you, look, you're strong in this life. You're strong in this life. You can pull yourself out of this. Just look where you're going. And the Strength card is looking right at it. Own your freedom here. There you go. Now, I think with the Wheel of Fortune here, I think you have an opportunity here. The Wheel of Fortune is things are changing for you. You, I think, have the toughest responsibility here, but I also think that you free yourself in a way that you can actually be done with this. Don't go through another lifetime of having to experience this. Just really look at these things and stop maybe trying to look at, and I get it, and I really do get it. There's a heaviness around here, but again, try to always, or try to make it if something always pops in your head, when someone else gets something that you want. It's kind of like, wanting a really great car and then realizing, my neighbor just got it, or wanting this person as your partner and then someone else dates them. It's like, really? But I think that there's a release here, okay? But it's an opportunity, and I really feel that it's just going with the natural order of things. Your main takeaway, I think, from this is trying to stop trying to figure out why things are going the way that they are, or why they happen that they are, because you're missing kind of like the opportunities that are presenting themselves for you because you're too stuck in the well, why can't it be me? You know? And I do think with the Lover card on the outbound, again, what I think is really happening here is I really feel like this is a whole, like a whole, you know, like a whole lifetime of stuff changes, right? Like it's like you get into proper relationships now, and by that I mean you're able to hold your own. You know what I mean? And it's a give and a take, and it's not always a. I have to say, though, I think that this is a solo journey. Not that you're not going to have life around you. You are. Not that you need to leave partnerships to do this, or careers or jobs or whatever. It's just, it's how you're showing up to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's that kind of stuff here. I think that, too, what you want to maybe look at here is I think too, like I say, it's critical. It's being critical, but it's also about judging, because that's what you're trying to dissolve here is the Judgment card. And it's kind of like, I think ironically what you're needing to get away from is judging everything, having an opinion about something. Something is always right or wrong instead of sometimes things just are. You know what I mean? That's the natural order of things that comes in the Wheel of Fortune. And this is what you're trying to get a renewed perspective on, is that, you know what? Sometimes you're on the top, sometimes you're on the bottom. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's trying to just bridge those two, just like this is. And this is where you're going. I think once you realize that it's not always one or the other, it just can be. It just can be. That's what you're bridging here. And it's not going to be an easy thing, though, because it's like sometimes life has ups and sometimes it has downs. You know, sometimes you're just in different places. There's lean times in life and there's really spectacular times. But it's knowing that the wheel is constantly changing. So don't get stuck in the, you know, say you're stuck in a spoke on a down wheel. It'll turn. But you just need to release the past crud, I think, is really what it's about. And the Devil card, I think it's freeing. I think it's liberating here. I think, though, what you're trying to do, where you're trying to evolve from, is like, you know, false surrender. Like, oh, that's lovely. And on the inside, you're thinking, oh, I could choke you right now. It's just like, really let the release be the release, you know? And again, you've got to look at your whole reading here. You're trying to merge parts of yourself. Look at the people in here. You've got to, you know, you've got to bridge yourself in a harmonious way. You've got to stop judging yourself and others. You've got to stop feeding the wrong monster here, right? If you even look at this, it's renewed health. Right? And the Wheel of Fortune is just bridging that sometimes life is up and sometimes it's down. And it's like bridging past life stuff with now. It's time. There's karma in this card. Bridge yourself with the past and flourish. Be happy. Hallelujah. You've made it here. Long-term sustaining choices for yourself. That's what you're doing here. This is a powerful reading. I pray that you understood where I was going with this. I think, again, it's about not being on the outside looking in, being on the inside looking out, being part of this world, chaotic and crazy as it is. Carve out your part and make it as happy and harmonious as it is. And, you know, I'm just going to throw this in here. And it's just about experience life with a loose rein is what I'm going to say. Know that you've got the strength within yourself. This is about confidence too. It's about confidence in yourself. You know what I mean? People that are confident in themselves and, you know, are not judging situations, right? Not judging any kind of situation. People do shitty things. I'm just using this as an example. In the appearance sake, they're doing crappy things, but that's part of their whatever it is that they're doing. It's part of their journey here. It's the reason that they're here. So for someone look on the outside to be judging someone on the inside, you're going to get a smack from that. So just say, you know what? Doesn't mean you need to have that person in your life, or you have to even be near that experience. You only have to watch the news to know how many people are like out of their mind here, right? But that doesn't mean you need to experience that. It doesn't need to be that you need to judge it either. You don't need to do anything with it, because it really has nothing to do with you, right? And I think that that's kind of where you're overwhelmed with the chaotic world around you, and you're creating a storm on the inside, right? And that's what I think you're trying to get rid of. I think there's a lot of past life memories of like physical illness, you know. I think too, what you can do with this, again, if some of you are trying to go to be, you know, some kind of doctor or nurse or healer in some regard, or something that's escaping my mind, what'll free you from this, what'll help make this easier, is really to just help people that are less fortunate. And I know you're saying to me, lady, I'm unfortunate right now. And I don't think you're more fortunate than you realize. Because when you start helping people that are less fortunate, you will very, very clearly realize just how fortunate you are. And you'll be surprised that that'll open doors for you that you don't even need to do anything about. You don't even need to stick the key in that door and it'll open for you. It's a flip of a switch. My suggestion with this reading, because it's a bit much, is to just switch the word. If jealousy comes in, speak of compassion, joy, happiness. And I assure you, if you're in the desert, you know, macrameing, you know, sand seeds, you'll be out of there pretty soon. Honestly, I think that this is a heavy, heavy reading here. But again, I think this is more for, again, my reason for doing this is because why you chose to come into this life. You're working some really heavy crap out. So I really think that these are, again, if that's the question that I'm asking, I'm pulling on your rising sign. Why you chose to take this life, what your lessons are in here. So watch your rising sign first. Okay, but again, you've got the strength card in here, right? And you've kind of got to own your power here. And that is a very, very Leo card, right? You've got to own your power, but it's not about taking this life by storm and having something to say about everything, right? It's about the old you taking your power, and the Hermit is showing you the light, showing you who you truly are, and you're bridging these two, right? You're realizing that sometimes the universe just pulls the trigger or the rug right from under you, but that's a very fortunate card in here, and I'm pulling it for your blessings. So the wheel will turn for you. You just need to merge these two in a harmonious way, and then you're happy. You're whole. Okay, so that's what I've got. I hope that I helped you in some way. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I am in the process of putting some specials on the website to help with these things. Okay, so I'm pacing myself here, but I'm slowly but surely getting it done. Okay, so this was empowering. It was powerful. It was hard. It's hard. I've got to be honest with you. It's extremely heavy. And I see people around like, this has to do with health. It has to do with health issues that are stuck in the past and how it's playing out for you here. Like you still have that defeated feeling, right? I get it. So I have a feeling though that however or why ever, I can only go so far back, but it's not physical now. It's not physical health. It's mental health, right? So you're working from the inside out, which will free you, right? Because remember what I said, it's the mental stuff we want to get a hold of before it hits the body. In your past life, it didn't. It hit your body. Now it's working itself back out. You see the change here? You're renewing this to make yourself whole again. I hope I'm making myself clear. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much.